Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today I am on the public test server because we just got an update, and with that update a new weapon has been introduced. As you can see here, this is the V63 Laser Carbine. Now the way you get this weapon is actually through a quest, and that involves story spoilers because this update actually added quite a bit. There is a new event, there is a new quest line, there's also the caravan stuff. I'm not going to get into any of that. Today is just about the weapon. Right out here, outside Vault 76, Bethesda has been nice enough to actually put the all the plans for all the mods and the weapon. Is the weapon in here too? No, they didn't put the weapon in here. Yeah, so it's just a plan for all the mods. And then they put a weapon in here. Unfortunately, the weapon is level 10. I did enough of the quest to actually get the weapon, so the one I'll be testing will be level 50, so... yeah, okay. So here's all the mods, but the weapon is level 10. I doubt that that's intentional. Not much of a test. And some fusion cells, which I will go ahead and take those as well. All right, so here we are on the weapons workbench. I actually haven't tried this at all. I picked up the weapon and tried to figure out how to get the mods, and it's locked behind a, yeah, there's some bugginess going on, so it's really hard to unlock things right now. It's, yeah, it's a whole thing. So, but I just found out about the mod, the plans being in that locker, so I thought I'd give this a try. So let's go ahead and mod this. I don't really know what mods we want to use. It looks like the capacitor mods, we have quite a few. So we have an overclock capacitor, which, let's see. This does work with science perks. I did check that out. So this is an automatic rifle, is how this is classified. So it works with commando perks, and it is considered an energy gun, so it also works with the science perks as well. So there are a total of 7 mods. So you can see my damage. I am playing full health, so my damage is 84. An overclock capacitor is 95. It reduces the ammo capacity from 150 to 120. It has a pretty nice ammo capacity, and it takes regular fusion cells. You can see the descriptions there they're not all the way baked. So this affects ammo capacity and overheat rate down and overheat rate up, which I don't know what that means. This has some effect on those things. Then we've got an oiled capacitor, which the damage is the same, the capacity is the same. Looks like the reload speed might be a little bit better, and hipfire accuracy is better. Insulated capacitor, overheat rate down. Okay, I don't know what that means, but apparently this affects that. And the damage is the same as the standard. So then we have an extended, which same damage, but we have a higher capacity. And cyclic capacitor, which gives an overheat rate up, but looks like that's a positive thing. So we're gonna just go ahead with the overclock capacitor since I don't really know what everything else does, and this just gives you more damage. You can see the AP cost, 40, really high, and none of these capacitors affect that at all. It's 40 across the board. Then we have the standard automatic barrel, so there's no automatic barrel mods, it doesn't look like. So if you want this to be a semi-automatic, you want to be a rifleman, you're kind of left out on this particular weapon. And then we've got some stock options. So forceful stock reduces the AP from 40 to 38, not much of a savings. Bruising stock doesn't do anything standard. Okay, so we'll go with forceful stock, get that AP cost down a little bit. This may be one of those weapons that you want to use outside of VATS, I'm not really sure. And I am on a custom server, so I can go ahead and place whatever legendary mods I want on this, so I think I'll do that. Okay, so let's do anti-armor. That's a good universal mod for that, for the first star. Now, you can put the explosive mod on this, that will work, and yeah, why don't we do that? We'll just go ahead and make it explosive, because people are gonna say, can it be explosive? What does it look like? So let's just find out together and see what we could do about that AP cost. Well, we could take it down to 28, so we'll do that. Wow, okay, that's still pretty high for an automatic weapon, so yeah, well, I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but we'll take this out for a little mini test. Now, I'm trying to decide what the best view is so people can see the weapon, but yeah, this kind of gets in the way of things a little bit. Let's try these gulpers, see what we do. Oh wow, yeah, you run out of AP really quickly. Yeah, manual aiming is really tough on this because I can't see anything, so let's go into third person, and well, zooming out doesn't, well, okay. You're not gonna get much of a view of the weapon for the most part. You get wow, that's kind of a cool beam though. Kind of reminds me of the Institute, if you played Fallout 4, kind of the way that their weapons look. But this, yeah, for VATS, I don't know so far. It seems like the AP cost is rather high. Kind of on par with the plasma gun, really. So yeah. So maybe let's do some manual aiming, and probably would want different legendary effects if I was gonna manually aim this, but let's try that anyway, since this is where we're at. The explosive effect, hard to tell really. It seems like it's pretty good though. I do like the ammo capacity, that's pretty nice. I mean, it seems fairly strong, I gotta say. Now it's possible maybe anti-armor wasn't the best choice. I really don't know. It's one of those things I'd have to play around with a little bit. Caught in the reload. The reloads aren't Yeah, are the reloads kind of fast, slow? I'm not really sure. Oh, my jetpack's not working. Yeah, that's the thing with the PTS right now. If you have a jetpack, you have to unequip that armor piece and then ooh, it is kind of bright though. Kind of blinding. I do have Grenadier rank 2, which will, oops, let's not die while I'm doing this. Aiming on this, so I will say, aiming with third person actually feels pretty good. This thing has almost no recoil. So this might be a very, this might be an out of VATS one, like a really good out of VATS winner. And if I was gonna do that, I'd probably put damage while aiming or something as the second star. But even hip firing, so that was a hip fire, I wasn't aiming. So yeah, even hip firing is actually really good. This thing is really stable. There's something over some, oh, it's probably a rad. Gutsy in the bathroom. Oh, he's in the ground. All right, there you go. There you go. Okay, yeah, this is an interesting weapon. I do like it. It doesn't, I will say this, it feels like a laser, like similar to a laser, but not exactly like it. It doesn't really feel exactly like anything else, and it definitely doesn't feel like a skin of an existing thing. As I'm sitting at a loading screen, I'm thinking maybe quad might be a way to go. This has with the power or the overcharged capacitor, this is very stable for manual aiming. It's really good. Quad might be a really good option for something like this. I mean, 480 rounds with the overcharged capacitor. And oh, this is pretty neat. I got to say, this is pretty fun. It's a nice ammo capacity. Yeah, if you had a quad on this, you could fire forever. I mean, I'm assuming quad could go on it. I wouldn't see any reason why it wouldn't. I mean, if they're going to let you have explosive on this weapon, they're not going to, you know, restrict quad in some way. Let's not have that beam in the way. Problem with explosive is obviously self-damage. I don't really think that's the way I would go with this. I mean, the explosive damage is fun. It's nice, but it definitely adds some blindingness to this. Okay. And I said I would like to have damage while aiming. I'm not so sure. I'm mostly hip firing. This thing, this is very stable. I like this, I like this, aiming this a lot. I mean, it's very easy. Hip firing in third person it's very good. I think this is gonna be a really good out of VATS weapon. Let's do a stim pack. The problem is, yeah, explosive is just not much of a thing. So maybe actually, you know, honestly, a second star that actually might be good if you use this as a hip fire weapon would be something like replenish AP on kill and then pair it with dodgy. That could be pretty nice. There is that bar that you could see over the ammo that that's the overheating bar. You can see that as it goes up. It overheats. I'm not really sure what happens when it gets to the top because it doesn't, I mean, it'll keep shooting and it doesn't affect the damage. I did check that briefly. Or if it does affect the damage, it's not visible in the Pip-Boy. So I'm not really sure when it gets overheated what it really does, if damage goes down or, yeah, I just don't really know. And I didn't notice any kind of prime option. So for ultrasight fusion cells, this doesn't seem like a thing. Maybe that'll be added later. Maybe it's just a mod that, you know, that's, it exists, but it doesn't show up in the thing. This is, okay. We are struggling a little bit. We're not chewing through them. Although, part of this to keep, you know, one thing to keep in mind as I'm doing this is, you know, this is a new weapon and there's also combat rebalances going on with enemy resistances and stuff. So it's really hard to tell, you know, compare this with something else in the live version of the game just because, you know, I can't test this in the live version of the game because it doesn't exist. And with combat rebalances and enemy, you know, resistances and stuff being played with, it's, yeah, it makes it really hard to see how this compares to other things without testing a whole ton of other weapons in with it. And I may do that, but right now I just got this weapon and I wanted to, this is doing all right against, oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention to my health. All right, I spawned with a fully reloaded gun, so that's a good thing. What is the range on this? That's one thing I didn't look at. The range, 204. Okay, so it's actually got a, that's one thing, like the laser rifle, the range with an automatic barrel is only like I think it's 120. So this has a really, you know, basically it has the full range. And I probably have no poison resistance at all. And maybe limb damage. You know, maybe that would be a good second star. So if you did something like quad with limb damage, that might be really good, actually. Another thing this doesn't have when you compare it to, say, the laser or the plasma gun is it doesn't have any kind of, let's see, I'm manual aiming. Hip firing actually seems to be easier than manual aiming, honestly. It doesn't have any kind of, you know, beta wave tuner or anything like that. So there's no burn damage option, which is, you know, which I guess is good. I mean, you don't want all the weapons to be exactly the same. Ah, okay, yeah, explosive damage is definitely, and, okay. Yeah, I'm getting a third-person bug here. There we go, bash. Let me do a stim pack. It wouldn't let me do a stim pack, so that will happen sometimes with weapons just in third person anyway, where you kind of get stuck, and it seems like this weapon is not immune to that. Let's see, VATS. I guess we could do VATS. Oh, she's gonna land. That'll make things easier. At least in theory it will. Wow, that was a pretty bad stagger. So we are, well, let's see. I mean, it does okay damage. I would definitely not call this overpowered. I mean, even with explosive. I'm not convinced that explosive is the best option. I just thought I'd try that mod, or yeah, try that mod with for entertainment purposes only. Guess we could do a little bit of VATS. Help save on ammo. There's one guy there. All right, now it's just me and the dragon. And yeah, AP just gets gobbled up. Just, it's just so expensive in oh, wow, okay, wow. I got crippled, jeez. Okay. This weapon is, it's brand new to me. I'm sure it's, there we go. I will say okay. You notice the laser beams are not coming from the gun. They are coming from, like, yeah, I don't know where they're coming from. They might be coming from the gun if that's, come on, there we go. Wow, that felt like it took entirely too long. But there you have it, a quick early look at the V63 Laser Carbine. The weapon looks, let's get a little better view of it. I think the weapon looks really good. I do like the model of this. It's really fun to use, and I think the best use case for this is probably going to be an out of VATS kind of thing, which I like to see. I like to see him maybe, hopefully, with all the balance adjustments, a non-VATS damage will be a little more effective than it is currently now. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit one of the buttons, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.